My name is Warren Stukes. I'm from Charlotte. I have a background in playing basketball, student athlete. I'm a minister, like you said. I'm a father. I'm a husband, coach. So many different things. But how we got to this point simply was, I picked up the game of basketball. I love sports, and I was able to play at a high level. So I was able to play in high school at my alma mater, West Charlotte. Was on a back-to-back state championship team there. Started basketball actually playing at the church. My church I grew up in Mayfield Memorial Missionary Baptist Church. And then went on to play at the Y, and then eventually for Ransom Junior High, then on the West Charlotte. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get a full scholarship to Eastern Kentucky University. And through my years, through the injuries and all these different types of things, I saw there was a void, not only in my life, but in the sports world. I think a lot of people just don't see God in sports. So I've always been drawn to sports ministry. And God has afforded me opportunities through my testimony, through my experiences, to be able to have several platforms that I can now minister to coaches, student athletes, and all those that are interested in sports. I was always brought up in the church, so I like to say I was a spiritual being, but I realized once I went off to school, a lot of things that I learned, I didn't carry with me. The core was still there, but a lot of the things that I knew to do, I didn't do. And so, of course, in most scenarios, if you don't go pro or you go into the working force, the way they still remain in sports is generally coaching. So I did that, and I did the mentoring and so on. So for me, I was like, I don't want to just be a coach. I want to coach life. And with that, there's certain, in my opinion, criteria you need to do that. You have to go in with a spiritual mind to say, hey, I'm gonna be a difference. I'm gonna be a man or a woman or a person of integrity, because what I do is gonna last longer than the season or the moment that I have with whoever I might be coaching. Officially started in 2002, so I started as a coach going back to West Charlotte High School, and I just saw something different that I had to do. I actually coached with my junior high coach, Gosnell White, who was the coach at West Charlotte at that time. And I coached there for like 3 years. And, long story short, God showed me in that time, he said, I have a big call on your life. And I know you love West Charlotte, but I'm going to show you that I can make you a fisher of men. But more importantly, I can help you make a bigger impact, bigger than you just coaching at one school, which he was showing me in the last 2 years. I was coaching, I was doing a bunch of training, and I was able to mentor a lot of young men that were not in the maroon and gold or the West Charlotte uniform, and helping them get scholarships and showing them a better life. They would always ask me the hard questions. Well, why aren't you out here doing this with this woman? Or why are you not cussing at me? I had to be different, and I knew I wanted to be different for these student athletes, coaches, and be an example to also the coaches too. And parents. Initially, I started out with Athlete University, which was a subset of that was Basketball University. That was more like the training, and then I was able to coach. And then from that birth, I'm also a minister, so I was a licensed minister in 2007. So the church came along, and so I was helping churches start sports ministries. And then from that, I've been able to go into the schools. I've been able to link up with Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That's another platform that I'm still on staff with them. And then out of that, I saw a greater need once I started to bury some of my teammates, to see coaches dying, to see student athletes dying. So I knew I had to be more holistic in ministry. So started Stukes Ministries so I can minister with my family, my wife, my beautiful wife, and my 4 children, give them a vehicle that they can also minister with me and can come alongside me and make an impact. And as the Great Commission says, go ye therefore and teach all nations without walls. If you're a true follower of Christ, you have to be holistic, and for a long time I didn't talk about the health piece because I wasn't living it, and I'm a person, and I like to feel that I'm a person of integrity, that I'm not going to talk about something that I'm not doing. Even though I might have said you need to be healthy, you need to be have a strong mind, you need to be spiritual, this, that, and the third, I wasn't living it. And so with that piece in 2019, was hospitalized, and I woke up, especially with my son asking me, can you take a picture of me? Because I don't know if you're gonna die. And so that right quick in a hurry put me on a fast track with the high blood pressure and found out stage 3 kidney disease at that time. And just, again, burying a lot of teammates and seeing people around me and student athletes and so on pass away, I felt it was a need that I live the life. And so since that time, I've been able to do that, lose 110 pounds, gain some back in muscle. And it's really expanded my ministry because now I can not only talk about it, I don't have to talk about it because I'm living it. And those conversations come up, and that's an even easier end to the spiritual side because, hey, your body's a temple of the Lord, and I can go in it from that standpoint. Your family needs you around, if the coaches are married or they have children. So I'm able to really holistically minister to whoever God sends my way. So for this summer, we concentrated on doing a 7-on-7 football camp. We're in the workings of finishing up the wrestling camp, first initial wrestling camp, and we're working on also a volleyball camp. So the importance of the camps they're kind of like the kick fire or the starter to the school year. We all know COVID-19 kind of set us back a little bit, but not really, because if you had the relationships, you could still continue on in ministry, which I was blessed to do. But the camps usually start as a kicker where I can help train others, whether it's a sports chaplain or a life coach, whatever a coach feels that they need or they want to call it. And I can more or less be the administrator. So that camp starts that off for me, and to put the right people in place so we can make sure that, if there's pregame meals, they're getting fed. Make sure that if there's churches I can connect them with, or there's organizations or businesses, restaurants, whatever the need is for a specific team. And it changes from team to team, school to school, coach to coach, administrator to administrator. So I just want to be spiritually connected in a way, and have those times with those volunteers, those people, and coaches and student athletes to see where it is God will have me to go and do with whomever He sends me or wherever He sends me. God first, family, then football. Oh, it's a walking testimony in itself. The shirt is an eye catcher. From the camps and T-shirt sales, a portion of that is going to go back towards pregame meals, which a lot of the schools that I serve and places I've been called to serve, for lack of better words, are malnourished when it comes to pregame meals that either they don't have or it's not consistent. I'm one of those people that I've been afforded to play at a Division I level, and I've seen what it means or what it's like to have a pregame meal, and I know what it does for the body. Just like you have a car, you don't want to put gas in your car to go wherever you need to go. You need to have the right amount of fuel in your body, food-wise, to nourish you to be able to accomplish the things that God has given you the talent to do. And I see some schools that operate from a 6-figure budget, where there's some that's trying to go week to week, month to month, game to game, whatever the case might be. Team moms trying to fill in for them, to try to make sure that these kids are properly nourished for a game. At the end of the day, I want to impact the world for Jesus Christ. That's my number one deal. I know what Jesus has done for me. I know the grace that God has shown me, the mercy He's shown me, and spared my life in so many different situations. One day that ball is going to stop bouncing. Or that ball, you're not going to be able to kick that ball. You're not going to be able to run, whatever the case might be. And I never want someone to have sports as their God. If sports is your God, you're in trouble. We learned that just through the pandemic. And I couldn't tell you all the accounts I dealt with of depression and so on that went on because that was the case. Where I want them to see hope and see that God gave them the platform of sports for whatever season He gives it to them for. Get your education if you're afforded to be able to go and get a full scholarship, a partial scholarship, whatever you can do with the talents that God has given you, do those. But what I want you to most importantly understand is that it's about coaching life. I want to help prepare you for life, so you be that great spouse, you be that great parent, you be that great person, so you can make an impact in this world, because one day you're going to have a chance to give back. So if somebody did it to you, it's important for you to give back. And I know all the coaches that have impacted my life. I mean, I could name you every coach that ever coached me and the impact that they had. And God gave me these coaches for a reason. It still fires me up today to think about the opportunities that God has blessed me with and the coaches he's blessed me with, the men and women in my life, to help me get on the path, to help me for today. And so I want to pay it forward, give back, and be that light, and especially even to my beautiful children, and help them to see not so much the medals and the money and all those different types of things, but to see the heart of a person and make an impact no matter what level they play on. Well, at the end of the day, I'm going to do life with you. So I'm always lean on the Holy Spirit, what that looks like. And that's what I was saying before. I don't know even going in. I mean, I might have this cookie cutter way message, this, that, and the third to share. But at the end of the day, I got to do life, and I got to understand that situations come up, situations change, just like we talked about even the camp tomorrow. It's changing day by day, minute by minute about what that's going to look like. But I'm going to hold fast to the ever unchanging hand of God to deliver me and give me the words to say, the people to put in front of whoever to impact them for his name. Because at the end of the day, God gets all the glory, not me.